Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, before you went to Flex, Flex, I asked you to do these problems. I asked you to do 846 times 7 and 846 times 4. And the reason I asked you to do that is because most of you indicated multiplying by a one-digit number is easier for you. That you found that easier. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this problem first. 846 times 47. And I'm going to show you what the real problem does, what it looks like, why you're doing what you're doing. Because you're always, and I mean always, multiplying by a one digit times one digit. If you know your zeros through your nines, you can multiply no matter how many digits are in a factor. So if we take the 47 and we put it in expanded form, and I know you're watching closely. Okay, we have 7 ones. So I'm going to multiply 846 times 7. I'm also going to multiply 846. What place value is this 4 in? 10. What's the value? 40. So all you're doing when you're multiplying a 3-digit by a 2-digit is you're only multiplying one number at a time. One number at a time. So every one of you knows how to do 846 times 7. If you don't, you have a multiplication chart you can look at to make your life easier. No, I'm not doing 846 times 7. I'm doing 7 times 6, which is on your multiplication chart. I'm doing 7 times 4, which is on your multiplication chart. Then I'm doing 7 times 8, which is on your multiplication chart. You're only doing one digit at a time. One digit at a time. Mr. Crow, computer, close now. Mr. Elijah. All right, so I start off my ones place. And I do ones place times one place. So what's 7 times 6? 42. That's 42 ones. I can't put 42 here. So I have to have 2 ones and 4 tens. 4 tens plus 2 ones equals 42. Okay, so you all know how to do 6 times 7. Easy. If you didn't, you have your multiplication chart. Now we have to know, now we're multiplying by tens. 7 times 4 is?
28.
Plus 4 more.
32.
32. Now we have to know 7 times 8.
7 times 8.
56 plus 3 more.
59. Oh, 59.
So you had that problem,
I've got
and you
it
should have
right.
gotten 5,922.
Yeah. I got it right.
Now if we do 846 times 40, why did I pick 40? Because I'm multiplying by the tens place. The tens place is a 4, so 4 tens equals 40. If I'm doing this here and I got a trailing 0, this factor has a 0 in the ones place. All I have to do is move it down. And then I'm just doing 846 times 4. Then I'm just doing 846 times 4. You know that you can either find it on a multiplication chart. 4 times 6 is? 24. 4 times 4 is?
4 times 4 is
16 plus 2 more.
18.
4 times 8 is? 32 plus 1 more?
33.
Okay. So you should have done those 2 problems. You should have gotten these 2 answers.
I did.
Okay, so fairly easy, right?
Yes.
That's the same thing you have to do here. These 2 problems are the same thing as what you're doing here. Almost all of you agreed that this is easy.
Yes. Yes. No.
Okay? This is not any more difficult. Not a bit. It's the same thing. We're doing one digit by one digit at a time. So let's start in our ones place. We always start in our ones place, and we'll do our ones all the way through this factor. And then we'll do our tens all the way through this factor. So 7 times 6 is 42. And that's 42 ones, so I take 4 tens and then 2 ones. 7 times 4 plus 4 more. 7 times 8 plus 3. You did that. You already did that right there.
I did that.
Those are the exact same thing.
I did that. Yeah.
Now we're starting in our tens place now, which means I do not want anything in my ones place because I'm starting in my tens place. So that's where my first number has to be, is in my tens place. I cross off what I've already carried over. 4 times 6? 24. 4 times 4? Plus 2? 4 times 8? Plus 1?
33.
You already did that.
I did that.
If I'd have given you this first, I'd have heard so much whining. So much whining. But I gave you this first. And you were like, okay, no problem. I got this.
I know, because I like it.
But you're doing the same thing. Then I just add these two products together.
Shouldn't be that hard. I do that.
It doesn't matter how many digits are in your factors.
We can still.
It doesn't matter. You're still only doing. You still only have to have memorized 0 through 9. If you can do your zeros through your nines, then you got this. That's it. Zeros through nines. If you can do that, it doesn't matter how big your factors are. This year, for my class, you're only required to know 3-digit times 2-digit. You're only required to know 3-digit times 2-digit. Now I gave you two other problems. And those problems were, let's see, 291 times 8.
91 times 8.
And 291 times 3. That's what I gave you. I gave you that because I wanted you to be able to do 291 times 83. That's what I wanted you to do. So I wrote these problems, and what you did, almost, I didn't make this 80, but what you did is all the math you'd have to do for this. The same math. The exact same math. Okay, I'm going to break 83 apart. So I'm going to have 291 times 3 and 291 times 80. Because 80 plus 3 is 83. If you know your 3 multiples, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. If you know those, you can count by 3s. You can read a multiplication chart by 3s. You're in good shape. So 3 times 1 is?
3.
3 times 9 is? 3 times 2 is?
6.
Plus 2?
8.
So that's going to be 873. Put your mask up, please. Now we're starting in the tens place. I have a 0 in my ones place, so I can just bring that down. Now I have to be able to multiply by 8. So I have to know how to find 8 times 1, 8 times 9, and 8 times 2. If I don't have it memorized, all I got to do is look at my multiplication chart. I do not want you to multiply or add 291 together 83 times. That would make me insane.
times 4. dude.
So 8 times 1 is?
8.
8 times 9 is?
72.
8 times 2
16.
plus 7?
23.
23.
I did that.
Okay, so you should have gotten those. I mean, you'd have gotten 2,328 because I only made you do times 8, not times 80. And now let's do the problem that I just gave you. And you're going to find out you're going to use the same numbers. So y'all said multiplying by 1 digit's easy.
It is.
Multiplying by 2 digits is easy too.
It is.
3 times 1 is?
3.
3 times 9 is 27, 2, 6, 7, 8.
Ooh.
Now I'm in my tens place, so that 0 has to go there. 8 times 1 is 8. 8 times 9 is 72. 16, 23. Which is here. So you don't have to do it like that. You can break it apart if it makes it easier for you. Because nobody wants to add 291 together 83 times. That would be a lot of paper. Then we just add these two products together. 3, 15, 10, 11, 4, 2, 1.
I did that.
So 291 times 8 should be, if I did it right, 124,153. So I'm going to put 2 up here. 3 digit by 2 digit. I want you to break it apart. You do the 1 digit at a time. And then I'm going to go over it in just a few minutes. Let's make it, pick a 3 digit number.
500. I mean, 523.
523. Haley, pick a 2 digit number. Say again? No, a 2 digit number. Well, we'll do 200 or 23. Since you said 230, we'll make it. All right. Let's see. Maddie, pick a 3 digit number. 680. And pick a 1 digit number, Thomas. 90, or 2 digit number, 99. Good. All right, I'm going to pause it. We're going to come back, and then we'll go over these 2 problems in depth. And we're back. You were working on 523 times 23. So to make it easier for myself, I took 23 and put it in an expanded form. So I have 523 times 3 and 523 times 20. So all I need to know is how to multiply something by 3 and how to multiply something by 2. Easy peasy, raw chicken squeezy.
Yes.
3 times 3, 9. 3 times 2, 3 times 5. And if I did the same thing here, I'd get 1,569 as my first row. Now, since I've got a 0 in my ones place, and if I went through 9 times 0 is 0, I'm going to get a 0 in the ones place anyway, no matter what I do. So if I just, I'm sorry, I'm in the wrong column. I'm just going to get, if I took 0 times 3 and 0 times 2 and 0 times 5, I'm going to end up with a 0 in the ones place anyway. So I'm going to skip all those steps. Then I just have to multiply by 2. 2 times 3 is?
6.
2 times 2?
4.
2 times 5?
10.
So this one should be then I add those 2 products together. And I would get, let's see, 9, 12, 10, 2, 12,029 if I did my math right.
I got it right. So do I.
But again, if you can multiply by 2 and you can multiply by 3, this problem's easy. Now all you have to do is be able to multiply by 9. You know your multiples of 9, or you can read a multiplication chart. And you really only have to do it once. So if I did 680 times 9, I don't need to do 680 times 90. And I'll show you why in a minute. Oh, 9 times 0 is?
0.
9 times 8 is?
72.
72. 9 times 6
54.
plus 7? 61. So the first one here, 680 times 9, would be 6,120. Okay? Now, I'm just, instead of multiplying by 9, I'd be multiplying by 90. So I'd have a 0, and then a 0, a 2, a 1, and a 6. Because it's the same number, the same digit, a 9, but it's in the tens place. So that's where my numbers have to start in the tens place. When I multiplied it by the ones place, that's what I got. When I multiply it by the tens place, it's just going to move the decimal point over one place. Just like when we multiplied by tens and hundreds and thousands and other numbers that we multiplied by. Then I just add those two products together. And I get 0, 2, 3, 7, 67,320.
I got it right again. I'm smart. Unlike other people. I feel so bad. I feel
So at the beginning of class, I asked how you felt by 3-digit, by 2-digit, and I got a lot of this or a lot of this. I got some of these. But now you ought to be feeling pretty good about it. If not, you will be, because we're not done. We're going to keep going. If not, you will be, because we're going to keep going. You'll be great, trust me. You can do this. Now the problem will arise when I put it on a Google Doc and you guys try and do it in your head. That's where the problem arises. Boom, shakalaka, peace out, God bless, love you, do something kind today, save the bees, subscribe to me and to Keller GBB.